Hi. So, first of all, I really wanted to thank Michal, because earlier today I was in a very, very bad mood. And you're such a hero. You're able to just tell me how to think right. And, you just stopped me and told me, Shalhavit, wait, what do you actually want to get out of this day? What is important to you? And I just stopped and thought, and I was in such a bad mood, but it just made me pause, and I realized I want to do certain things. I want to make this video, and I wanted to get ready and go running, and Michal was like, you're able to do it, you're able to do it, and she just totally changed my thought.
Oh,
I love you, Michal, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, what we wanted to talk today is about change, and that change is possible, and that you could learn optimism. You could learn an approach to your life.
And be the queen of your life, or the king of your life. For example, what you did today was the perfect example of how a person can stop and say, wait, bad things are happening, bad things are this. Things aren't going right, I don't like where I'm at. He can actually just be stuck in that feeling or rise above it and be like, what do I want? And be the queen or the king of his life rather than the victim.
Exactly.
And that's what change is all about.
It's an active agent versus a passive person, really. Because you can really see your life as something that, goes by, and something really bad happened. The expensive wine that my boyfriend bought for me broke. Terrible. And I was in such a lousy mood, and everything from there just started going down. And I was just the victim of reality, and I saw myself as a victim, and we do that so many times. We think that reality is not the way that we want it to be, and we become the victims of our lives.
A lot. And how did it start happening? You started feeling oh, things might not go the way I want, and you started losing control and not being in control, right? And then as you went into that victim mode, things happened and made you a victim. You're like, why? And once you said, stop, I'm changing, I'm gonna decide, that's what reality actually...
I took responsibility for my life, and that is really what we're taught today, that you could be the king of reality. You could make the present. There's this beautiful quote that I don't remember exactly word by word, but it says that the highest form of art is creating your moment. You could paint a beautiful picture, but can you paint a beautiful day? And really all that we experience is really what we feel inside. Can you paint your beautiful feeling no matter what happens? Can you allow yourself to be human and sometimes be sad and still love yourself and still see the beauty of that?
Nice. Pretty.
It's not easy. It's not easy all the time.
But it's easiest after you decide. It's all about the courage to decide. After you decide, life is a million times easier. The day's a million times more beautiful. You're happy. Everything's easy. Everything's fine. It's just about that click, that moment of courage where you're all alone, nobody's going to help you, and God's sitting up there and saying, are you going to find and use the God in you? Are you going to be in charge? Are you going to be the king and the queen and not...
And really, courage is the word. Courage. It takes a lot of courage to be responsible for your life, to say, I'm going to take this moment, and I'm going to take this moment. I am going to carry this moment in my own hands, and I'm going to carry myself. If I'm sad, I'm gonna decide that I'll go to a person that's gonna give me a hug, or I'll get myself ice cream, or I'll do something.
Chocolate, or peanut butter and jelly, or anything edible.
Yeah. Or go running, or work out. But you could decide what you want to do. It's really, really all up to you. And
it's all about the moment also. When you say oh, but I'm going to be in charge of my whole life. It's not going to happen. It's not going to this. I want my life to ultimately look like this, but where am I going to start? It's about the moment. It's about that moment that you take charge. You say, no, this moment, I'm going to be in charge of. And that moment adds up to another moment, and another moment, and another moment, and it becomes reality. And the only thing that exists is the moment, this moment.
Exactly.
Right now.
Tomorrow is always going to be tomorrow, and yesterday was. Everything that you have really is right now. And that is one of the biggest secrets of being alive, is experiencing now. Right now when you're watching this, right now when we're talking, we are here right now. We are totally here right now. Just take a deep breath. You're breathing right now. You have air in your lungs right now. You are
wonderful. I'm never gonna smoke again. For this moment.
You know, there's a professor called Martin Seligman. I don't know if you heard of him. He's the head of University of Pennsylvania and the American Psychology Association. He wrote a few books, amazing books, all recommended. But it's called Learn to Optimism. And the truth is that you could learn to be happy. You could learn to be a victim. You could learn to learn to optimism.
Most people are learned to be a victim from childhood. You can't. No, look, this is that way, that's that way, this is right, that's wrong. We're like to learn to be victims.
And that he defines as
taught to be victims. Sorry.
And Professor Seligman defines that as learned helplessness. You're taught to be helpless. You're taught to only do what people let you. But hey, this is your world. This is your life. You're the only person that's living in your body. So take responsibility for yourself. You can choose what you want to do with this body. And there's so much, believe me, there's so much you can do with this body. Just from smiling right now.
It's really addicting. Tickles also.
You know that by smiling, you're actually activating the most muscles possible out of any other activity.
Really?
Yeah, you activate like so many muscles in your face. And when you make like a sad face,
it's not doing anything. You're being a victim.
Yeah, I mean it uses some muscles, but you know, it's really all about excitement. It's about living, and our message is we want to live. We want to
be happy.
We want to be.
We want to dream. We want to live. We want to feel the moment to its fullest. We want to feel alive in every vein in our body. That's what we ultimately want, right?
We didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh. I'll introduce you.
Okay.
And you introduce me.
Okay.
This is Shalhavit Simcha. The meaning of her name is a flame of happiness and joy. And I know that she brings joy around me whenever she's around. I literally feel like she's a flame of joy, and I'm sure anybody who knows her knows.
So much. This is Michal.
Means container.
Means someone that could express and encompass like everything. Hakol, Mikol. In Hebrew, that means like everything.
Wow, I never knew that!
And the biggest blessing is really have everything. And you could really have everything, basically. Your name, it means Michal, like from everything. From your heart, from connecting to everything.
Wow, I have a beautiful name!
Every name really has a deep, deep meaning. And it's actually taught in Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism that your name, it has your mission in the world. Every letter of your name. And you don't need to be the only one that's translating it, because if you're stuck in that passive feeling, you're going to always translate it negative. So find a positive person that's going to translate your name. Even if it's humor. You know, humor is something that really lets us go. It lets us free. And humor and optimism are two things that are today medically considered very, very helpful. Both raise self-esteem, they raise capability, stress release, reduce stress, and on and on. So really, go to a person, go to a friend, and tell them, what do they think that your name means, or what do they think about you. Actually, someone loves you, really. And eventually you're going to get to a point where you're able to also tell yourself what you really know that you want.
And you'll feel like the queen or king of your castle.
Yeah.
I made up the line. I always told myself, like when I was in a healing process, when I started my healing process, and I was like, I want to create, I want to spread my light. So this line kept popping up in my head, and it was like, I am the queen of my castle, and I will decide what goes on inside. Isn't it nice?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's an amazing.
But it's true.
Actually, Michal and I play this game. It's called My World.
Oh, I love My World. Now we're playing My World.
Really? We're putting on costumes that we love, and we're expressing something that really means something to us. You look beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay.
It just keeps on moving.
I know my wings are falling, but we'll get...
The point is, we're really playing My World. We're playing the game of My World. In My World, I would like to complete the sentence. Do it. Complete the sentence. In my world, I would like to. And if you're afraid to say something nice to someone, if you're afraid to, you know, we're gonna give in the following videos different tools and teachings really of science and research, maybe some mysticism, but mostly science and things that are really.
I'll bring the mysticism.
Okay.
Because I don't know anything scientific. I don't know anything.
We're going to mostly bring ideas of positive psychology and research done in universities and you know, many people to see really what are the things that that lead you to success. What are the right thoughts? What are the different tools? Like, you know, permission to be human, simplifying. Or we're going to learn about relationships, about love, about loving ourselves.
Find love within.
About loving ourselves and doing what's right for us, and authenticity. You know, people are attracted to authenticity.
I know.
You are attracted right now to us because we're speaking about authenticity. We are ourselves right now. We're the most ourselves that we could be.
True.
That's
so great.
Don't you want
it's
to
an
like
amazing feeling.
Every day, just, you know, like that.
Amazing.
And
it's all inside. It's not something you go out and get. It's in you. It's all about change, being you, doing everything. All the tools are all about healing everything that is not you and being you. And in a way, it's like the most difficult thing to be courageous, which courage isn't a thing that you have. Courage is just deciding. That moment you decided. Like, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't have the courage. You have least courage the second before you're courageous, right?
Yeah.
Like, courage is when you feel like no way and you just decide. And then it's like, oh, easy, and it's like landing on a cloud. It's amazing. Anyway, go on.
Really, guys, it's about courage, and our generation, it has so much courage, and, you know, YouTube is one of the best examples, because we could just, you know, talk to the world, and really speak our minds. And, you know, if we want a better world, we can make a better world.
And it all starts with us. Every single person being true to themselves.
Yeah.
And wanting change and believing in change and not being a victim.
In the next class, we're going to show you what exactly is change and how exactly the brain, we're going to bring more scientific material of, you know, how the brain actually changes. How your train of thought, we always think that we can't change the way we think, but we can. Look back on your life. Think about how you were thinking about people when you were a kid, and what do you think about people now? Are you so scared of them the same way? Think about the person that you loved that before you were shy of. You know? My boyfriend, I thought he was such a snob the first time I saw him. And now I really know him. He's so cute and so shy. But
meat with really yummy onions and tomatoes we're gonna eat soon. Shabbat, almost. No. Forget it.
We're having a big dinner.
Yeah.
And we could really, really change our thoughts.
I know it happened. It can happen.
It's very easy to think about, to look at our lives and say we're always like, you know, we're stuck and this is where we are. But if you tune in next time, we're gonna really show you. Hopefully, I'll get some pictures of how once you think something over and over and practice it, you can really your brain will change, and that thought would be so much easier to think. We can learn about rituals and how to really set these thoughts in our mind, but to really have an effective, applicable dreams that we want.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.